Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, that's it, with your eyes closed, allow feelings of tension to leave your body. Breathing in and breathing out. And just allowing your body to let go of thoughts, feelings, sensations and tension that you don't need to hold on to right now. As you breathe in through your nose. And as you exhale, breathe out through your nose. But allowing that breath to be longer than it normally would be. Enabling you to allow all of that tension to start to leave your body in your outward breath. And as you breathe in, imagine that you're breathing in something positive and useful. And perhaps that's a feeling of mindfulness. And what is mindfulness if it isn't the ability to direct your attention on the things that are important to you? And at any point in time, mindfulness is a choice. You can choose to listen to the sound of my voice. You can choose to notice the rate of your breathing in and breathing out. You can be mindful of what exists in the real world. And you can also be mindful of what exists on the internal world. Everyone has an inner voice. But who pays attention to that inner voice? We have emotions in our body. And sometimes we only respond to the extreme ones, like severe stress and anxiety. But what about the subtle ones, like inspiration? I want you to tap into your feeling of inspiration. And sometimes we don't need to look to other people for a source of inspiration. We can be inspired by who we were at a different time in our lives. And I want you to recall a time that you were perhaps playing tennis. First of all, see yourself like you're someone else. See that younger version of you. Notice your facial expressions. This wasn't a struggle. This wasn't a chore. This wasn't an obligation. You did it because you wanted to. And you kept doing it because it was enjoyable. I want you to notice how that version of you was moving, and that the purpose of playing tennis at that point in time wasn't to lose weight, but by playing tennis in the way that you did back then was increasing your metabolism, increasing your heart health, but also flooding your body with those feel-good hormones. The dopamine of when you made a great shot. The oxytocin that came from the connection of playing with someone else, perhaps a friend. The endorphins of your body responding to physical activity. And perhaps all of those things contributed to you feeling wonderful, maybe because serotonin was being released as well. And I want you to step into that version of you, feeling how good it feels to be active, and knowing that all activity is based on the idea of inertia and momentum. You can't play tennis if the ball is just stationary on the base of the court. The ball needs to be picked up, and then with the force of the ball, you can propel it over the net into the opponent's court. And unless they make a choice, a decision, the ball will keep going on its current trajectory. But their objective is to get the ball back. And when they do, when they hit the ball with the racket, that then creates a new momentum in a different direction. I want you to accept the idea that the tennis ball that is stationary won't continue to follow a trajectory unless there is the momentum that comes from an external force. And perhaps you can think of activity levels in your life as a stationary or moving ball. When it's moving, it's easier to make that ball roll faster. And when it's stationary, nothing will make it move unless there is an external force. And sometimes that external force just needs to be a decision to leave a comfort zone. But I want you to tap into the good feelings that come from being active, to feel vibrancy in your body, to feel with energy, to feel that your body is a gift, but only if you use it. Tap into those wonderful feelings and then fast forward in time to a different point in your life where you were using the equipment in a gym and really enjoying that. Whenever you've used the gym, there was a point where you weren't using the gym, which means that the point that you've reassociated with now is probably after you've already been going to the gym for maybe a few weeks or a few months. I want you to go back to that decision that you made to use that gym for the very first time. And maybe there was a feeling of hesitancy because you'd never been there before. Maybe there was other things that put off that decision for a while, but when you made that decision to go for the first time, you found that it was enjoyable. And it was within your realms of capability. Because when you walk into a gym, you decide on the level that you will play that game at. If you're using a machine, you can set the resistance level at the level that you want. If you're lifting a weight, you would only lift a weight that is within your comfort zone or the perimeter of that comfort zone. And in doing so, you ease your body in to build momentum. And once the momentum is established, you can do more and more and more, because there will be a desire to get all of those feel-good hormones, the happy hormones. So now go forwards in time when you've been going to that gym for many days, many weeks, even many months, and feel how good it feels to keep going. Exercise doesn't work if you do it once. But once you get that ball rolling, it's easier and easier and easier to do more and more. And that's when the real benefits start to become noticeable. Nobody plants a seed and gets frustrated if it doesn't turn into a plant within days. There is a trust that if you do the right thing, the right results will follow. I want you to accept the suggestion that whenever you make a choice to be more active, you will be rewarded with wonderful, positive feelings, pride, accomplishment, satisfaction, vibrancy, and energy. I want you to go forwards in time now to a time where you were making great choices with food. And they felt effortless. They felt aligned with your body. And notice that even back then when you were making great choices with food, you weren't always making great choices with food. Too much control is out of control. And the objective here is progress, not perfection. The first time you played tennis, you weren't very good. The first time you went to a gym, you didn't know what to do. As it is within every area of your life, in work, in life, in friendships, in family, you become wiser with experience so long as the lessons you learn are applied to the future. And from this point forward, whenever you experience a feeling of regret, guilt, or frustration at a food choice, you will have a desire to think of how you can apply this insight into the future where you might be in a similar situation. Meaning it gets easier and easier because you either make great choices and you win, or you make not so great choices and you learn. From this point forward, there is no failure. You either win or you learn. And sometimes you need to learn something a few times before you really learn it. One of the universal laws is that the world will keep giving you the same opportunities to learn until you really learn the lesson. And to escape that Groundhog Day, it's extracting the value from a lesson learned and applying that into the future. And I want you to see that future. See the future where tomorrow you're just a little bit more active than you are today. Maybe that's walking around your own home or having a stretch. And then a few days after that, maybe see yourself trying something new. Maybe walking a bit further. Maybe some yoga. Maybe trying out the gym. And see a few weeks after that you're doing it more often and it's getting easier and easier. And the more you do it, the better you'll feel. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. As you make great choices, you're rewarded with feelings of pride and accomplishment. And as you make not so great choices, your body is still rewarding you with regret and guilt as a gift for you to learn a lesson and apply it into the future. Allow your intuition to be your personal trainer, your coach, your motivator. And know that every good choice creates momentum, meaning it gets easier and easier and easier. And I want you to see yourself, perhaps a year from now, seeing where this momentum has taken you, seeing you play tennis, perhaps swimming more, maybe doing advanced yoga moves. See the smile on your face, see the shape of your body, and get a sense of overwhelming desire to create this vision step by step, day by day. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is the ideal body shape of you, but it doesn't have to. Little by little, decision by decision, choice by choice, will take you towards this future. Now it's time to return to the present, but I want you to take that inspiration, that sense of vibrancy, and the willingness and desire to start with conscious choices that you allow to be unconscious as your body figures out that they just enjoy doing this stuff anyway. Returning to the present, listening to my voice. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Get a sense that you're in your own physical body right now, fully in the present, all parts, here in the moment, but tapping into those wonderful feelings of inspiration, motivation, and a sense that vibrancy comes from the journey, not the destination. Starting to count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.